The defense is chasing quarterbacks, while assistant coach Joe Vitt is tracking down neighborhood burglars. A new kicker says he's confident and likes his new setting. And a columnist who can see the future. It's all coming up next in the Black and Gold Today. Welcome to the Black and Gold Today, sponsored by Cadillac of New Orleans. I'm your bummed-out Cubby Blue host, Jim Derry. This week, not only are things happening for the Saints on Airline Drive, but it's been an exciting week away from the team facility as well. Assistant head coach Joe Vitt tore his Achilles tendon trying to chase would-be thieves from around his old Metairie home this past Saturday morning. Drew Brees joked about it in the Wednesday's press conference. Let's hear what he had to say, and then we'll bring in columnist Larry Holder.
It is absolutely what I would expect him to do. I was like, was there any inkling just to call the cops? I mean, that's what the police is for. But here, let's chase after these guys in your socks. It's good stuff, all the way around. Good stuff.
Larry Holder is here with us in studio today. And Larry, I guess Coach Vitt will have to be placed on IR, huh?
Well, I don't know what he's more angry about, being in the chair or ever doing press conferences again, because both of those are basically like root canals and torn Achilles. So yeah, but I can imagine Joe Vitt running down the street. I can seriously see him doing this, but I can't picture the wipeout. I mean, that's got to really hurt the ego, and now he's on the little cart.
Can you give us like a little preview of what kind of words he would have been using chasing them down?
Well, this is the internet, right?
Yeah.
And we can just use expletives everywhere.
Well,
I'm sure he was using expletives chasing the thieves, would-be thieves, because they got away and did not take anything that I know of. And when he wiped out, I'm sure he was saying other unsavory language. It's just my guess.
Filth, flaw, and filth. Turning to personnel moves this week, the Saints they signed a wide receiver in T.J. Graham, and they replaced kicker Zach Hocker with, I know you're upset about that, with Washington Redskins cast-off Kai Forbath. Let's hear from Forbath.
I mean, I basically had a kicking schedule like I was in season. I would kick 2 to 3 times a week and still lift and just stay ready, basically.
You had to feel like your numbers were good enough where you were going to get another shot, right?
Yeah, I stayed pretty confident. You know, I had quite a few workouts coming into this one, so I was pretty confident that it would come eventually, just didn't know when.
Forbath said he worked out for 5 different teams, and why do you think Sean Payton decided to go with him?
Well, we know why I went away from Hocker. The guy couldn't hit a pressure kick, and he couldn't hit a kick with no pressure on him, so they moved on. But Forbath, look, he's part of the group that worked out a few kickers at the beginning of the season, and they had some issues with Hocker. And so, look, but his accuracy isn't all that bad. I know that in Washington, they didn't feel like he was someone who could really give the ball a boom on kickoffs. Yeah. And you look at Thomas Morstead, looks like he's going to be back for the game, so Forbath's not going to be having to worry about that. So he's just the best of what's out there, honestly.
Well, I mean, if they don't get to the 32, 33-yard line, they're going to have to go for it a punt.
Right, and so it's not like the Saints are in a position anyway in games to where, boy, let's not roll the dice. Yeah. They're 2-4. Why not? And on 4th down, they're one of the best teams in converting on 4th down this year. It's like one of the few positive stats. And so, but yeah, when you're looking for a kicker now, you're looking through the scrap heap. He's the best of the bunch. But like I said in my column earlier this week, definitely have a month-to-month lease if you're a kicker kicking for the Saints.
I miss Chip Miller.
I don't think anyone misses that guy.
Let's talk about T.J. Graham. What does he bring to the team?
Well, he's more of a special teams guy. It's not like he's going to come in and be a big asset in the offense. They waived Don Jones, who was kind of a special teams guy. Now they made some room, brought him back in. Do they sprinkle him in the offense? Maybe, but he is certainly, throughout his career, been more known as a special teams guy, and that's what he'll be here in New Orleans.
More Brandon Coleman, you think?
Well, yeah, and you started seeing more Brandon Coleman this past week with no Marcus Colston, and so, but is he going to get involved? I mean, Sean Payton said Wednesday that he felt like Coleman and Spiller, that their production should increase as the season goes along, but we've yet to see it from really either one of those guys.
Lastly, the team's still riding high after last week's win over Atlanta, and I know you're high on his performance last week. Let's hear what Danella Ellerby had to say.
Was that second half maybe the whole defense showing maybe what you can be? You know what I mean? Like the way you guys played in the second half overall?
The energy in the dome turned up, so I mean we fed off of that. And we're trying to move up in the rankings. We're trying to play better on defense. We're trying to stop the run, and we feel like we're going to get a good start.
All right, we talked about this on Wednesday, and do you think with the play of the defense and the excitement that the team may have, can they carry this momentum into the Indianapolis game?
I wouldn't put it past them, and yet there's certainly no guarantee. I mean, this isn't a team that's consistently rolling. And going on the road against Indianapolis, a team that's basically playing for their coach's livelihood, honestly, coaching livelihood, because Chuck Pagano, there's all kinds of rumors swirling that this might be the end, as far as at least after this year. And the botched fake punt nonsense didn't help him against New England, just put more questions over his head. So the Saints, they are getting better. You see that. But are they consistently doing that? We haven't seen it. So I would tend to say it would be tougher for them to carry this momentum going forward.
Waited with bated breath for your pick tomorrow.
It's going to be a good one, or maybe not. We'll see. That's the tease. That's what we do here on the Black and Gold today. Thanks for coming on, Larry. We'll be right back with Thursday's Extra Point.
What's one of the nicest things that comes with your new Cadillac from Cadillac of New Orleans? 0% interest.
Get 0% interest on all new Cadillacs, now at Cadillac of New Orleans. New owners, new attitude, on Lime Street in Rye in Metairie.
You think it can't get any worse? You young bumpkins. And for today's Extra Point, let's go back in time 19 years ago to a period way worse than today. I remember it. I lived it. Not only were the Saints heading in the wrong direction on October 26, 1996, but it was just 2 days after 10-year coach Jim Mora had resigned and another coach, offensive coordinator Carl Smith, who was called, quote, the albatross hanging from around Mora's neck, was fired by general manager Bill Kuharich. It was solely my decision based on our 2-6 record and our production offensively, Kuharich told the Times-Picayune. I just felt we needed to have a new decision maker and play caller. Well, for those of you younger than 35 or so, you won't remember the criticism that Smith took over the years for his conservative play calling. Imagine Rob Ryan on offense, someone who could do nothing right, even though he often did a stellar job. Well, unlike Ryan, Smith's style lacked flair, and the fans got spoiled and whined about, quote, ugly wins. Those were the days. Well, Rick Venturi took over as head coach on an interim basis, and he would lose 6 games before getting his only win in the penultimate game of the 1996 season over the New York Giants, as the Saints finished 3-13. Well, how ugly was it? The offense didn't score more than 17 points in any of their last 9 games, and they scored more than 20 just once all season. That's right, just once. Mike Ditka would take over the following season and last here just 3 years, going combined 15-33. Well, I know. That's all the happy, joy you can stand for one day. Don't forget to vote in today's poll and join us when Larry comes back and gives us our fearless prediction for the Colts Saints game. I know you can't wait. See you then, my friends.